You know, give me a minute here. Yeah, everyone wondering why I'm like, hey, come on. Hi, everybody. And exit cat stage left, as always. Why do I even bother? Oh, okay, so for those of you, yeah, this is for Twitch people, just so you're aware. Now we're into me talking about how I'm doing with writing. Um, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this after January. I'm probably going to ease into like once every few days. I probably won't do live streaming, so sorry, Twitch people. It's gonna go more back into YouTube. You guys need love anyway because I am only update you guys every 3 days, and that's with the other video. So I guess I don't know. I'll have to work out how that works, but that's future me problem. Um, let's see here. Yesterday was not a good day. Not a good day. Um, I didn't hit my daily word count. I got some writing done, so that's better than no writing. But I had to force that because, and I don't think I should have forced it. Like, I really should have just left it. But that's not this particular, that's not this particular month for writing. This is not a trying to set up a regular practice. Well, it is, but my main goal is to try and find out how much I can type in a month if I sort of, if, not even if I push myself too hard because I have a bunch of other projects, so I don't want to. Like that's why I have such an easy word count because it needs to be bite sized and digestible and easily attainable. Um, because I just need to try and not get discouraged by like how much I'm getting done, but just focus on getting a bunch done. Um, that's okay because I'm gonna try and power through a bunch of the weekend. Um, but let me think here. And let me try and review where I was in the story. I don't even like that's how bad it is. Yesterday, I don't even remember what I. Oh, good. Oh, good. Right. I don't know. And I'm tempted just to like. I'm tempted to not. I don't know. the The story is bloating. Every night I include an extra scene. I'm creating a new scene between scenes that I'm already working with, which is yay. But I tried planning out the story, but now there seems to be more on the front end of it than at the end, which is fair if you're going with Freytag's Current, because it does kind of go like this, and there's like an immediate drop after the climax hits, right? So it's to be that's the way it should be. But like I don't know, I like the idea of an outline, except for when my brain starts thinking, and then yeah, I'm only slightly more cohesive than I was cohesive. Oh boy, yes, cohesive. That's exactly what it is. Coherent. It's been a week. Day job has been kicking my butt all week, so here I am. But I do try to get my butt in the chair regardless. I mean, that's what I've always done with comics. Has been like I draw no matter what. Um, but when I'm writing. I can't. I just it's neither or sort of thing. I don't know with writing. I'm finding there's well, I guess there is a way of playing. So I think about when I'm drawing, and every once in a while I'll just for the sake of doing some drawing to get some practice in, I'll do I'll just do sketches, just scribbles that have nothing that I'm not even going to use for anything, and just draw and toss basically. And I don't really have well, I can do that, but I find that when I'm trying to do well, specifically with this Janowrimo thing, I don't want to I don't want to throw into a bunch of different projects. I'm trying to focus on just the one project. Okay. Anyway, trying to think about well, and then there's somebody who always comes in, so I was going to talk about so I was talking a bit about writing, and then I was also going to bring up some books because give me 1 second here. Uh, had people in the chat room. Yeah. So like I said, it's been a really really long week. Um, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my writing. I'm not even halfway through the story at this point, so but that's fine. Yeah, and comparing the writing with the comparing writing with brain with comics. Yeah, so I don't know. Not much to update here tonight, really, because I didn't really do much yesterday. I didn't even really I added blocks to the story and not even long ones because this is why yeah, not a fan of first drafts. Just because well, I am because they give you a chance to explore. I do love that. But glossing over stuff and then having to you see some parts of it that are so nice and they just seem like they're little polished pieces and then you get to this one part of the story where it's all like oh you're gonna add all this in later and it's a mess and I try not to do that too much because that really really annoys me. I hate having to go through after the fact and put in things. I'd rather just I like to write from start to finish because I'm telling myself a story in my mind, which many people apparently don't do. And I don't know, I don't I don't like it when I if I start skipping around in the story, I don't always go back to the original part of the story. It's and then I lose that section where I was going to work on it, which is where it's already happening in the story because there's parts that are like just a couple of sentences and then there's some that are just like that were only supposed to be about the same length and they're like 3 times as long. So much for pacing within scenes because that's just not happening. But pacing is for suckers and people who actually write well paced books. But yeah, I know. It's all for the next draft. But anyway, let's see here. Like I was telling somebody earlier, they keep because there's one guy who keeps on popping into my chat and like throwing up books, books, book recommendations. So I don't know if he's here right now. That's fine. Possibly not. Probably not. But for people who are wondering what kind of books I read, like, and this is how I tell you I'm stuck in the past and I'm pretty old and pretty ancient. Like, the most recent book that I read was this by Terry Brooks. I was talking about it the other day. And yeah, Terry Brooks did not just do Shannara, the tale, I can't remember the name of it. Shannara Chronicles? No. Well, let's go with that. I'm butchering the title. That's good. I'm glad I wrote everything down and planned everything out so well. That's me. If you're expecting well thought out and well researched stuff before coming in here, that's not me. Even though I do research, I have tons of books that I research with. I just don't research when I'm trying to talk to you guys because I'm usually just talking off the cuff because yeah. Anyway, that's one book I read. There's a small chance I might be rereading that because when I was in elementary school, we had the Scholastic Book Club, and so you get your big booklet where you got a chance to order your books from school. And I got this one book. It was a Terry Brooks book, and I got it. At some point in many girls' lives, they all go through a unicorn phase. Well, I did when I was about from like I'm gonna go from like 6 or 7 until I was about 12. That was unicorn time. And I got the Terry Brooks second book in this series because it had a black unicorn on it. That's the whole reason why I got the book. And it was actually a pretty good read. And so then I'm positive I read this book, but I don't remember reading it. But maybe. I've read a lot of books, so it's really hard for me to remember what books I did read. Okay. A lot of my formative books because like my dad, he started reading when he was 3, and I was 4. So yeah, but neither here nor there. So when I grew up, some of the books that I read growing up were obviously bedtime stories were things like Tolkien, and then the Prydain Chronicles by Lloyd Alexander. Grew up in those. Those are awesome. Um, so also one of the things I read like when I was after read from time about grade, I'd say from when I was like 11 through 14, and I just repeatedly read this series. It's another fine myth, and the myth series basically. Um, Robert Aspirin is kind of problematic now, but back in the day, uh, I just really like the story. So, I mean, the reason why he came up with this story was he said that he was contracted to write this book, and he didn't know what he was going to do because he had to have this book to his publisher. So he locked himself in a hotel room, and he started watching a bunch of really old movies, and he just like lifted the script from this one movie and just plunked it down into the fantasy book, and it works really well. And it's a fun read. It's got, and I think that's my thing is I like a little bit of comedy in my fantasy books, and that does also coupled with okay, yeah. So the beaten to crap book, which I didn't beat it to crap, as you can tell, discard, which means that it was removed from the library. You can barely call. There you go. There you go. Now he is also problematic, but in his day, um, it was an amusing story. My cousin got me started on Piers Anthony, and yeah, a lot of puns in there. So that's kind of why I liked the story. I have to reread it. This is the reason why I got it, because it was 25 cents, as you can, worth 25 cents because of how like beat up it is, but reading copy no less. And kind of I'm gonna go through it. And I just want to see how my reading tastes have changed over the years, like how my ideas of story and everything have changed. Like, for example, when I go back to read, I just finished reading this recently too, and it was a lot of it was very nostalgic for me, but also you can tell it was very of its time, because let's this one was published in, yeah, well, okay, originally back in like ancient times. It's originally published in 1978, but I think I can't remember. Yeah, so this printing I would have gotten in 1986. That sounds about right. Yeah, so 1986 was this book, and yeah, it's very much of 1986. There's a lot of sensibilities. Even this one also very much of its time as well. This one is from 1986, same year. Yeah, both of them very like deep 1986. So I'm working my way up. I just wanted to start with those to kind of like progress into where I'm going from there. Also, a little bit later, I started reading the Callahan series. That was more science fiction, but still a lot of fun. By Spider Robinson. Yeah, so those are kind of my touchstones. One of the ones I've read recently that was newer-ish, yeah, newer-ish, ish. Although, the old original Doubleday version edition was published in 1982, but current edition is 1994, and that is Magician Apprentice. So it's not bad. I mean, I think I read this one, and I started reading. The second book in the series, and then someone was talking about how it's just fairly whiny, but I don't know. I just haven't. I took a break from it for a little bit. I might go back to it though. It's a fairly simplistic read. I remember when I was so one of the books that didn't hold up well at all was uh, David Eddings. I read I read the first book, and I was like, yeah, it's awesome. And then I went in and read the second book, and there were some continuity problems that were so like glaring that it just took me out, and I had to close the book and just put it away. I'm probably gonna go back to it because I bought the whole series because I remember wanting to go through it and just finish reading it all. So I'm gonna see if I can kind of just skip over that part, and like, because I remember I think I read the first three books in the series, and there's way more now. Like, I read The Wheel of Time around the same. I think it was around the same time that I was reading like uh Terry Brooks and Robert Aspirin. But yeah, and I'm also talking about these because when you write, you read, and I'm trying to think about what gets me excited about reading. And one of my main things was anytime I got into a rut for reading, especially like when I was younger, was read the series again. And once I was done reading the series, I was ready to, like, it was like kind of palate cleanser. I don't know. And I'm trying to see if it's still a palate cleanser. Could be, could be. Um, I say a lot of ums. That is the danger of live broadcasting. Anyway, there we go. But that was basically all I really had to say for right now. I'm going to continue on trying to get some more writing in tonight. I will, by more writing, I mean any writing, because I did not do any writing in the morning because I've been finding myself just too, like, not. And I think it's funny because I think when I'm first starting out writing things, because they're just very basic and I'm trying to like spark things. So I can pretty much start that whenever, but I find that when I'm more into the story, I need to be able to do it later in the day because I need to be able to like finish when I'm going to finish. So nighttime writing is better for when I'm getting partway through that. And I'm glad I don't have to work night shifts at all where I just have it's literally a day job. I'm lucky for that because I don't know how well, I think I know how I would work it. I would do some stupid things in order to make it work. So I used to work shifts at it back in the day, a long time ago, and I used to make it work. So I would adapt. End of story. I would adapt. But um, I promised you guys that I was gonna figure out what I was gonna be doing with write-ins. Tonight was kind of thing, and I've had my week and a half, so I had not really realized that it was Friday today until last night was Thursday, and I didn't really like fully dawn on me that meant that I'd have to come up with any schedules for any write-ins I wanted to do this weekend. I'm gonna say that I will probably on Sunday not gonna happen. I'm gonna possibly do some. I'm gonna do some like hello I'm here, but write-ins on Sunday no. Saturday I want to say I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try for like the afternoon, but I want it to be mostly I need to have like a day. So I don't even know if this weekend is a good weekend to do this in. It'll be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise write-in. That's what's going to happen. If it happens this weekend, it's going to be a surprise to all of us, including me. It's my day job is very well. My day job is weather dependent, and it was very busy. Yeah. So, but I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. It's just a matter of whether I'm going to be writing. I mean, if you guys are writing, then we can probably all write together. It's just I will try and let you know ahead of time. I'll try and give you like at least a little bit of a heads up. I'll try. I'll try to try. I just tomorrow is pretty much the only day I know that I can have some block of time because Sunday is I'm not sure what Sunday is going to be, which is why I can't really promise anything for Sunday. Anyway, but either way, I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. So have a good night.